Buju Banton, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Haha, respect. Thanks for having me on your program.
It truly is an honor to have you on because, I mean, you are a legend. And I mean, this is not a term that people use lightly, especially in the same genre as people like Bob Marley or Peter Tosh. You know, they say Buju Banton is a legend of reggae. And you're back with a new album. You're back with an album that has been so highly anticipated that, you know, when you performed in Jamaica at the National Stadium, not only were you the first artist to sell it out since Bob Marley, but people flew from all over the world to see you. People want to hear your music. People want to feel, you know, what you create. What does it feel like for you to be in that position again, to be making music again, to be back?
It's a lovely feeling. But I do not see myself as a legend of reggae. I see myself as a servant of reggae. Reggae music is a music that comes from the people of Jamaica. Now, upon being able to create music and make music once more, it's a tremendous feeling because when you're separated from those that you love and the things that you love, and you know you did it from your heart, you did it from a sacred place inside of you, and it's ripped apart from you, and you're separated from it, and a narrative is purported that you cannot really identify with. It brings a great joy to be able to reconnect with what you truly love. So coming home and see my people in the National Stadium to celebrate that moment with me and people from all over the world, it was like Noah, not Trevor, building an ark.
Right. What's powerful as well is the journey that so many of your fans were on with you. You know, and you sing about this. You know, you sing about it and you talked about it. You know, your tour was called the Long Walk to Freedom Tour. You know, you sing about being freed from the chains, and you talk about what it was like being incarcerated and how that you know constricted you as a human being. When you use your music to communicate, what do you hope people understand about what it's like to not have your freedom as a human being?
First and foremost, music is more than just something to have you gyrating and dancing. It possesses those qualities, but there's also the ability for you to think, the ability to learn something from the great music. I always want to make music to uplift, educate, stimulate the minds of the people. Yes? And we will not cease from doing that because that gives us a tremendous joy. Yes? When we can communicate with the people and bring that music to the people. So we always try to make sure that whenever the people hear Buju Banton or see Buju Banton, positivity is a necessary ingredient that you're gonna get. You're gonna get music to gyrate, but you're gonna get something positive.
You know, what's interesting about you say that music informs, but I would push back on you and I would say not all music informs. Reggae has a rich history of being conscious, you know? Like reggae has always been like a music form where it seems laid back and relaxed, it seems irie, it seems like, you know, that's the vibe that people get. But when you listen to what's happening in reggae, it's talking about the world, it's talking about society, it's talking about the problems that we're dealing with. And
it speaks about the people who are trying to rise up and take the man's
right.
boot off their neck. It speaks about the people who, after they rise up, they're still being hampered by the measures that are already in place to keep them in place. So this music, a lot of people relate to it right across Europe, right across Africa, right across the Americas, but it emanates here in Jamaica, and it must never ever cease from being the conversation starter.
The album is called Upside Down 2020. And what I found most fascinating is you named it before 2020, and now we are truly living in an upside down 2020. Did you have a feeling that 2020 would be upside down? Or should we blame you for basically putting us in this situation with your with your prediction?
Men is always looking for someone to blame. And maybe that's what when we start looking within, we can find profound changes, you know, that needs to be made and we can rectify them, you know. Upside down, our music, especially my music, has always been something that I see it as a gift from the great I am, from a higher source, you know, the great God Almighty himself. So whenever I get the inspiration, I cannot hide the inspiration from the people who the message were meant for. As a servant, I must serve the people. So when we say God free the people over hills and over valleys, Don't look for someone walk with a kid in his hand like the days of 2000 years ago. It's the consciousness and the awakening and the realization of mankind that we are our brothers and sisters and live in harmony. So when you come to 2020, it's nothing less. It's the same inspirational spirit that flows through man, inspires man to make the music. Our music has been relegated to a third world music, but nevertheless, like you so honestly stated, the impact is far reaching. So right. I cannot take credit and say, well, then it was a prophetic move on my part. I would say it was a great inspiration from the great inspirator.
Oh man, I will say one thing I appreciated. One of the many things I think I appreciated about hearing this music is how vulnerable it felt. You know, you have 10 tracks on the album dedicated to the 10 years of your life that you lost. You have 10 tracks on the album that are dedicated to the future. We know what we're living through. We know what we're going to be talking about. But what do you hope the future will bring, not just to yourself, but to humanity?
Peace. Yes, peace and love. Yes. No one is calling for peace and love. Everyone is calling for all kind of things. Peace and love is what Rastafari. That's what the music is about. Well, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I don't really love them kind of song then, neither. You know what I mean? Because I know I not dream. I want to see peace and love for my people and all people.
Well, you know what, sir? I hope that you're right. I hope that the same way your album title was prophetic, maybe those words will also come to be a prophecy that becomes fulfilled.
Because we have the power of the spoken word, know how to use it. Let us speak things into existence, sir.
I appreciate that. Buju Banton, thank you so much for joining us on The Daily Show.